Alrighty, I'm a little crooked, but we're just gonna ignore that. Say hi to Chewie. Pup. Hi. Alright, so I have nothing planned today, per usual. Don't have anything planned. So I just figured I would bring something simple and easy to do for Christmas or New Year's. But yeah, so let's figure it out together. Okay. I'm gonna pin my hair back so it's not in the way. Excuse my fat arms. Chewie, what are you doing? I can see you, bro. Alrighty. I've been really liking this Marc Jacobs. What? Chewie. What? This Marc Jacobs coconut primer, as you can see, I'm basically done with it. Chewie's gonna be whining because he wants attention. He doesn't like when the focus is on him. Or is not on him. Wow. I know. It's crazy. Say hi, Chewie. What are you doing? Do you want to get down? Is that why you're whining? Get down. You can get down from there. It's so low, dude. You can get down. Come on. Come on. Get down. Get down. Come on. Come on. He doesn't know what to do. You hear the chair? It's literally the noisiest chair of life, but I got it at a flea market. Is it a flea market? Yeah. This one guy wanted like $60 for it, and we talked him down to like $30, I think. So I know I want to have like a luminous, a glowy look for Christmas. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this Chanel something de la Blanc. Basically try and put it on the places where I want the extra luminosity. It does give you kind of like a slight white cast, but it's not the end of the world. That's gonna be covered up with foundation. You just gotta work it into the skin. So there you go, a little luminosity right there. I'm gonna use these two to kind of color correct because you want to look flawless on that day. Anywhere where I have some redness, and I usually just take a beauty blender, either one or any kind of sponge, and just kind of work that into the skin. So using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the orange one, this one I feel like slides around a lot, and very little does go a long way. So the same sponge, so with the same sponge that we used for the green one, just kind of like, we're gonna blend that into the skin. Okay, correct it a little bit, nothing too crazy. Oh, I forgot to put like, I got pimples right here. Oh, it sucks. He just came right back in. Bro, you need to make up your mind. Or any cream product that you lay down first on your face before powder, it just makes your makeup last a little bit longer. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna do just a little on the places I would usually contour, and then underneath my jawline. These are the Smashbox like Trio contour sticks, contour bronzing and highlighting. So we're gonna take the same sponge and just kind of work that into the skin. The next thing, ooh, I should put something on my lips. I'm gonna put some of this lip gloss on. It's the NYX Pump It Up Pump It Up Lip Plumper. It was originally like that lighter color you see at the very end, but I always put this on top of like other lip products, so the tint just got on it. Anyways, that'll work its magic as we go on. The next thing is foundation. I do want to put one more primer. I know I put like the coconut and the Chanel, the Marc Jacobs and Chanel primers. Those are more like hydrating, luminous. They're not really like filling in pores or your lines or anything like that. So that's why I want to use one more. Oh, and a dupe for the like Chanel one is actually the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. The Chanel one is probably like a little bit thicker. But you can see it's running. Let me show you this. You can hear it's a little bit more liquidy. But I mean, it's literally the same. They work the same. I'm gonna use one more primer. I'm just gonna do the Smashbox Photo Finish primer on the areas that like I have some lines, like my smile lines. Anywhere I want to smooth out my forehead because I get like expression lines and I don't want the foundation or anything else to kind of settle in there, so we'll do that. And I have texture right here, so I'm gonna bring it down my nose. And that's it. Now we can move on to foundation. Foundation's tricky, at least for me. Let's keep it affordable. Let's take it back to the OG filming days. We'll do this might be a little too tan for me. We'll see. We'll do the Maybelline Fit Me in 240. This one has a really dewy finish. I'm just gonna pour some on the back of my hand. It might be a little too like yellow or orange or whatever for me. We'll see. Maybe not. We'll see how I blend it out. It should be okay. I just pick up whatever's on the back of my hand on the sponge and then start working that into the skin. So as you can see already how like dewy that is, it's crazy. I like it because I have normally like dry skin. I will set it a little bit because this one does, I know probably people with dry skin are like, what? You're gonna use powder to set your face, but don't you want a dewy finish? Yes, I do want a dewy finish, but I also want my makeup to last and I don't want it like slipping and sliding everywhere. And this one for some reason just like slides everywhere on me. Like it never fully sets. I'm gonna need a little bit more on my forehead. I'll go in with a very light hand with powder and kind of set that. Excuse my fat arms. Ugh. I hate my arms. Like those who know me and are really close to me, this is a big deal that I'm showing some shoulders and some like arm action because I hate my arms and my shoulders. They're just super chunky. Alrighty, brows like are never the same. It's as good as it's gonna get right now. I'm just gonna carve them out with some concealer, and I'm like running out of my Naked concealers. These are just dying on me. I'm gonna do medium dark neutral because it's like a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna basically just put that on the back of my hand. This is a Sonia Kashuk brush. It's just a small detailed brush that I'm gonna use. Try and get this. I really don't carve out my brows too often, as you've seen in my videos. It's just an extra step that like I feel like isn't completely necessary, but if you want to do that like extra step to look that little bit more like a little extra flawless, then no judgments. You do you, boo. Alright, it'll look something like that. Before, after. And then if you have any extra, I would just put that on your lid. We could use it as a base. All I'm gonna do is, I probably should have waited to do my face honestly before doing my eyes because I do not know if there's gonna be fallout. Good job, Clarissa. It's okay. One more to go. Taking the Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder in medium to set my eyes. On the way to the top. Camera stopped recording. Luckily I noticed it before I went on. Okay, next we need to figure out a palette to use. I kind of want to use the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe just because I don't think I really used too many. I think, yeah, there's pretty neutral shades there. Yeah, we'll use this. I like to go windshield wiper and then little circles and then circles back, and that's pretty much the gist. And then just dipping back in there, tapping off the extras, well, say, I guess whatever, excess. And this eye is like my problem eye. It's just my smaller eye, I think. I don't know, the lid space is weird and crease was just non-existent. I don't know, it's just my problem child. I kind of want to go back in there one more time with the same color. Just build it up a little bit more. I don't know why I'm holding this brush so weird. There you go. That's better. Yeah, I think building it up was the right choice. Alrighty. What's the next thing we're gonna do? And that's it. And same brush, we're gonna go right back in the crease. Just a little bit lower than, can't talk, I hate it. Lower than where, just a little bit lower than where we put the previous crease shade. Wow, why is that so hard to say for me? I'm like horrible at blending. Sometimes I think I've blended enough and nope. It's never enough. Alright, I think we're gonna go into the lid shade. Already. We're gonna take this ratchet, broken, needs to be retired eyeshadow brush. So embarrassing. It's just honestly like a little flat, somewhat fluffy brush. We're gonna dip it into this color. Oh, it's a pretty color. I mean, you gotta kind of build it, but I'm gonna put one layer down and kind of map out where I want it to start and end. And I'm carving out my crease right there. And then I'll go back in with some like Fix Plus on the brush. It's always the same one. This one Yucca. This coconut, might as well. Coconut Fix Plus. I am going to dip back into it, and then spray my brush. I don't like to do, oh that's right, the coconut one is the one that like doesn't spray right. Okay, whatever. We're gonna spray the brush. And then I'm gonna just pack that. Holy smokes! Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh yeah. Yes, honey. It's looking good. Super freaking reflective. Super shimmery. That is how I like it. Before, after. I am going to go into those first two colors we used. This one and this one. Just gonna dip back and forth and re-go into that crease and kind of just build up that color. Alrighty, we're gonna go in the same brush we used before. Why do I have an accent? I have no idea. And pick up that lid color and just kind of pack it back on. I didn't spray any Fix Plus on it this time. That's okay. I think I'm gonna mix this one and that one. Yeah. Get it under that brown. I like put the majority of the highlight on the highest point of my brow, and then I start like blending forward and backwards. Ooh. That's some brow highlight. Just saying. Liner. Oh, we're gonna go there. We're gonna do liner. We don't play like that here. I said it'd be simple, but you need to look a little extra spatial. So I basically start at the inner corner, and I try to stay as close as possible to my lash line, but it doesn't always work that way. And I probably will mess up. Following the lower lash line and dragging it up very lightly. I usually take a break right here to kind of assess to see maybe I ain't perfect, so it's probably gonna be a little bit different, but we'll live with it. Oh, I almost messed up. See, they turned out different. Like, this one is a little bit thicker. It just happens. We're gonna pretend like they're the most perfect wings you've ever seen in your life. Wing liner takes practice. I suck at it. No, but I keep trying, and that's just it. You just have to keep trying. We're gonna go in with concealer. We're keeping it. Oh, that was one concealer that fell, so we're not using that one. We'll do the Maybelline Fit Me in 25. I think I used this in my last tutorial. And, be careful with that wing that you work so hard to create. And then with the sponge we had earlier, just kind of go in there. Be careful with your brows. Careful with that wing liner. Now we're gonna go in with another Maybelline powder. This is the Maybelline, the same one we used earlier, but it's in the light instead of the medium. We're gonna put that under our eyes, under your concealer creases. So going back in there, and doing the same thing to the other side. I have horrible bags. And then with the medium shade, because it's a little bit darker, not so light, this is where I said I'm gonna kind of like set the rest of my face, but not with a heavy hand. I'm gonna take one of these really light kind of dual fiber brushes and just dip it in there and lightly buff it into the skin. So there's still some like dewiness, you see, it's not so bad. And now your face is set. That'll help with your powder products and blending, as we're gonna go in and exactly what we did with the cream products, so contouring. Oh, I was gonna use cream blush today and highlight and I forgot. We're gonna take the NARS Laguna bronzer. And whatever I contoured earlier, that's where I'm gonna lay this down. So I'm going to use the Lorac Tantalizer bronzer, which is very like, has a really good sheen to it. And with the same brush, I'm just kind of rubbing that in there. I love bronzer. Can you believe I never used to be a fan of bronzer? I used to hate it, and now I just can't get enough of it. carve this out, and this is kind of tricky for me. I'm gonna use the other side, the straight edge side. There you go. Tease. Okay. With this brush, we're gonna dust it off. I don't do this all the time, to be honest. Oh no. Let's finish the lower lash line, those same two colors that we took on our crease. We're gonna run that underneath the lashes, your lower lash line. And then for the inner corner highlight, we are gonna take that really, really like light shade in the palette and pack that in our inner corner. Like so. Like so. Like so, like so, like so. So keeping with that trend, we're going to use a luminous blush. Becca has some really nice one. I've used a couple of the NYX ones already, so I don't want to use those anymore. But now it's just kind of figuring out which of these shades do I want to use on my face. Shocker. With the peach. This is the luminous blush Tiger Lily. And Chewie, what are you doing? We're gonna go in with this old school MAC brush that like needs to die. We're gonna just tap once, tap the extra off, smile a little bit, get the Aunt Lulu's cheeks out, and add the blush. It's a very soft blush. Why do I feel like I need more? Is it picking? I feel like the camera's not picking up the blush for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. This is actually technically a blush. It's the e.l.f. blush in Pinktastic, but it's really, really light. And it's more so of a highlight than anything else. A Real Techniques brush. And I kind of just swirl it like that. High points of the cheek. Yes, honey. And the same for the other side. How did the battery go from like 45 to nothing? Call me crazy, I still kind of want a little bit more. So I'm going to go in with Becca highlighter and Champagne Pop. Just because we have some peachiness going on, I feel like just adding a little bit more. Don't judge me. Do we need a reason really to add on more highlighter? I think not. Yes. I'm gonna do any false lashes. As I said, it's going to be a really simple look, and I feel like not a lot of people wear false lashes. Like they're not familiar with them, but they are familiar with like regular mascara and curling, eyelash curlers. So I squeeze the living crap out of my lashes to make sure they really curl. I'm going to use the Essence. This is my second one. I love this one. Oh, it makes your lashes so black. So I'm going to add this onto the top and bottom lashes. So the last thing really, now that lashes are pretty much done, is just figuring out a lip color. It's a pretty nude, neutral look, so I feel like you can get away with something more bold. I'm going to go in with Divine Wine. I'm going to show you two combinations. One very, very nude. So if you want to go more festive on the eyes and just, you know, have it like glittery and nice and keep it more simple on the lips, then that's fine. Still a little bit more pink, so I want to go in with Honey Love, which is a little bit more nude and beige on top. There you go. This is a really simple nude look. Again, mixing Honey Love Kinda Sexy from MAC. This is Divine Wine. It's a matte lipstick from, oh my god, Maybelline? Why can't I remember that? What's going on my teeth? Like, it's a really bold lip with simple eyes. Really shimmery and glittery, but really easy to maintain. I think we used like, what, 4 eyeshadows total. But this is the finished look, and I will zoom you in